Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Happy Halloween and also happy NaNoWriMo Eve. I hope that y'all are having a very safe and fun holiday, and also that your plans for November, if you have them, are coming along smoothly. So I'm gonna call this my first vlog for the month. I had planned on doing a Preptober vlog about sort of the process of outlining my novel, but as you'll see, that didn't exactly go as planned. So I was one of those people who thought that Preptober was going well for me. I would typically call myself a planner as opposed to a pantser, so I was planning on outlining my whole novel, and at first it seemed like it was all going really well. This was early in October and I had a whole pitch written out. I had the beginning, basically scene for scene. I knew exactly what was going to happen. The ending also was really clear to me, even though I didn't have it exactly down scene for scene. I knew what was going to happen basically all through the third act up until the ending. And this was huge for me. I had a midpoint. I knew what was going to happen in the middle of the novel. Crazy. Stunning, innovative, never been done before. So at that point, I still had a lot of time left to plan and I wasn't sure where else to channel it, so I channeled it into world building. So at the beginning of the story, what sort of kicks it off is there's an arranged marriage between the two main characters who are both royals of two different nations. I was trying to really pin down the context of why this was happening because I knew on a surface level why it was happening. They were trying to solidify an alliance, blah blah blah. There were ulterior motives from some other people, and there's a lot going on, but I also wanted to figure out, so what is going on in these two countries? What are their relations? Like, what are their imports? What are their exports? What do people do for work? What do people eat? How's the economy doing? And then on top of that, there was also sort of a succession crisis going on where there were two different heirs and they both thought that they were supposed to be the ruler and nobody could decide. There was like lots of drama going on over that. And then there was another country involved in that who had their own sort of ulterior motives. And then I had to do world building for that country too, and I just had to make sure that everybody's motivations made sense. There was so much going on and I was starting to get stressed out because I kept asking myself, how am I going to fit in all the stuff that I actually want to write about and still have it make sense? So I sat down and I talked with my partner, who I bounce ideas off a lot of, like, we like to talk about things, and I mean, as you would expect, and I explained all the stuff that I'd come up with as far as world building and kind of just laid it all out, and their first reaction was basically, that's a lot of stuff that you have there, Chase. I think that maybe is too much information for one book. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna have to write a series? And then I was like, wait a minute. I thought I was just trying to write a book where two people kiss. I thought I was just writing a romance. Why am I talking about the economy? So I realized that the reason that trying to think of all these logistics was so frustrating to me, even though I read so many books that like really just get into the nitty-gritty of like everything that's going on, I'm like, I want to learn about the economy. I want to see, what do people do in their free time? What do people do for work? Please just write me a second book about a 50-year-old grandma in like the hills who knits for a living and has a shop. I just want to hear all about her. But anyway, that's besides the point. That was a tangent. So even though I do enjoy a lot of world building in other books, I kind of realized that that wasn't the book that I wanted to write right now. And even though the world building sort of ideas that I came up with I thought were really cool, it didn't really necessarily fit with the story that I wanted to tell. So at that point, that was kind of when I knew I had to go back to basics and I had to cut a lot of stuff out. So when I was trying to figure out what I actually needed to cut out, I sort of had to answer the other question, which is, what do I want to write about? So obviously the first most important thing that I wanted to write about were my two main characters. That was pretty easy because they've been around for a long time. I don't actually have to do a lot of work developing them because that has happened over a number of years. I knew I wanted to keep their character backgrounds relatively the same, sort of with them being in a royal position in their own countries in sort of like a fantasy setting, so I knew I still wanted that. But I did take out the third country and the succession crisis because as much as I do love those plot elements, I just didn't know how I was gonna fit it in one single book. And I also knew that I really, really wanted to write about a spooky forest. This might just be my Halloween instincts kicking in, but I just really wanted to write about a spooky forest. And so what I did, because originally I had like 3 separate antagonists, it was way too much to keep track of. So I was like, okay, screw that, goodbye, just throw out all those antagonists, spooky forest is now the antagonist. Narrowing that down and clarifying that really helped me to focus on what I wanted to write about, which was these 2 characters and their wants and their fears and kind of how that affects their relationship as it unfolds, and also kind of helped me pin down their actual, like the sort of literal journey that they go on, like the physical journey as opposed to the emotional journey, where just kind of where they're actually going in the plot. Because after I narrowed all that stuff down and I took out kind of all the extra stuff, it helped me see what the actual cause and effect was for each thing that happens in the story. And what I realized was, at the end of the day, I really just wanted to write a story about 2 people who are tasked with saving the world, not something they have control over, but it involves a lot of personal sacrifice and they have to come to terms with that, and 2 people falling in love despite knowing that they can't be together forever. What I really wanted to do is I wanted to ask the question, what if Final Fantasy X was gay? And so the other thing that I really wanted to nail down before I actually start writing is, what do I want my goals for this November to be? So obviously there's the goal of writing 50,000 words. I guess that's kind of secondary. It does kind of motivate me because I do want to win Nano again. I know I can do it. I've done it before many years in the past, and I think now that I'm an adult, my brain is fully developed now and I think I can do it. Beyond that though, I think the most important thing that I want to do this month is I want to establish a consistent writing routine again. I really would like to get in the habit of just writing more frequently, whether it's on a big project or like a small project, something that I'm working on over a long period of time, or just short little things. I really want to fall in love with writing again like I have in the past. At the end of the day, I think I really just want to make something that I'm proud of, something that I can look back on after I'm finished, whether or not I did end up getting the 50,000 word sort of goal finished. I want to look back on the work that I've done and be proud of myself for doing it. Like, obviously it's going to be a first draft, it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to be polished 100% of the time, and that's not what I'm expecting or going for. I do kind of want to do something fun. I've been interested in bookbinding lately. Once I'm done writing, I want to print everything out on this new printer that we just got. I mean, it's just a normal printer. I'm just excited because I haven't had a printer in 10 years. But I want to print out the whole book, and I want to make a little book out of it. I'm going to put it right here. I'm gonna edit that right in after I'm done. And I will hold it in my hands, and it's gonna be something that I made. And at the end of the day, I think what I really wanna do is I just wanna have fun. I just wanna have fun and be myself. And I am going to have fun if it's the last thing I do. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this Preptober vlog. It's not really October anymore, but I say it counts. So I hope to post new vlogs every week of November. I don't know how that's going to factor into my writing time, but I will figure out how to do it. It may not be as, I guess, edited as other videos, but I think it would be fun to sort of document the writing process in the way that I've seen other people do. So if you liked this video, go ahead and click on the subscribe button, and I will see you very soon. Bye!